And we are live. Okay, hi everybody. Okay, let me see. We got 8 in the room. From what I'm seeing, everybody doing fine. All right, let me thank somebody. And we are live. Uh-oh, let me turn this off. Okay, hi everybody. There we go. Don't need nothing talking. All right, now got that out the way. Next thing, want to start off. How y'all like the new studio look? Let me hear y'all. Tell me what y'all say about the new studio. Look. All right, we got our like and subscribes up there now. Y'all know Chief been playing with this now. Y'all can see I'm playing around with it. What you say about it, Ishmael? All right. They coming on in, 21 in the room. Okay, let me do a couple of other little things. Um, put these comments. Y'all want the comments on the screen? Got us a little different look. Okay. Want to say thank you to our new member. Glad to have you with us. All right, Breezy. They coming on in. We have 27 in the room. We got Phoenix on stage already. Somebody had said earlier, I was looking and laughing at it. He said, I'm fixing to kick a hornet's nest. Yeah, I'm not really trying to kick a hornet's nest. I'm just dealing with facts tonight. You know, somebody got to say it. Hey, Sun Spirit. All right. You know, I'm going to let Phoenix come on. While we got Phoenix, we got 32, 33 sitting in the dining room. Let Phoenix come on and say hi to y'all.
Osio, Kamala Gapo. How you doing, Chief?
I'm doing fine, Phoenix. We got us a little new look going on and all that good stuff.
Yes, I'm.
I lost you. Holla at all people. They on there waiting.
Osio, can you hear me?
Phoenix wanna know, can y'all hear?
I love it. The
She in
stage
there
setup.
stirring. Phoenix back there stirring the pot, y'all. She don't want nothing to catch on fire.
We don't want no fire tonight.
Nah, we ain't trying to burn no house down. But she got the pot stirring. And Phoenix, they say we kicking a hornet's nest. I think we bring in clarity. What you say?
Truth to power. I think that's what's being served.
39 in the dining room. Dining room filling up.
Yes, indeed. Look, I just posted on my Phoenix Moon page. You know, Chief starts serving after 50.
Yeah,
50 guests. Come on
42 in
in.
the room. You
Like the
know,
video. Share the video.
you got people having meetings and can't get 50 people in the room. So
I'm
I'm honored
sorry.
that y'all fills these rooms up,
Indeed.
because when you can reach 50 people, those 50 can calculate to 500 real quick.
That's right.
So while the room filling up, Phoenix, you want me to tell them what I was up to a little bit, what I've been up to this week?
Yes, indeed. I
All
think that's
right.
a good idea.
All right. While we waiting on that 50. Hey, y'all, what about a second channel? Y'all ready for a second channel? Y'all ready for a second channel? Send 100. Send me some hundreds up. Let me see what they say. They say truth to power. Oh, it's going to be truth to power. Uh, if y'all ready for a second channel, let me see. Because what Chief been working on this week is a channel. Uh-oh, we didn't hit 50 just that quick. Okay, I see 100 come up. 100 things, two of them. Let me see some hundreds. What the channel is going to be about is going to be about talking. So I'm going to give myself a little advertisement right quick. And the channel is going to be called, you're going to see it streaming across the bottom, Let's Talk St. Tammany. What you think about that? But everybody is welcome, because the same problems we have in our communities are the great things. It can be the same thing in your community. So the new channel is Let's Talk St. Tammany. And while we letting it tick a tick, I'm going to drop in Phoenix a link. Haven't put nothing on it yet. I have something waiting as soon as possible to go up this week. Trying to move it at a faster pace. Ishmael, you see what all Chief doing over here, huh? Mm-hmm. All right. That's the link. I know Phoenix done told some of y'all about it.
That's the StreamYard link, Chief.
Wrong link. Hold up. I
dropped it in there. I dropped it.
I guess Ishmael see what I'm doing over here. Got a new channel rolling. What you say about it, Brother Ish? We going to be over on that channel talking about current events. This is our history channel. So what y'all say? There's a lot going on we need to talk about.
Yes, indeed.
Over
and
there
we can be compartmentalized.
Yes. All right. Now, guys, guess what? I did have that link in it on my notes that drop in case we wanted to bring somebody on air tonight. That's another thing. But we do need to bring somebody over here tonight, because what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to go to somebody who is a member or a ranch. And when we get to that second half, we'll bring one on. Okay, because we haven't brought anybody on in a long time. So you have to be a member or a ranch to come on tonight. All right, Phoenix, we got 64 people in the room. The kitchen is hot. It's not on fire, y'all. It's just hot. What we're going to be doing is, you see, we're talking about tonight, what is foundational? Who is foundational? Let's just stop right at them two for a while, because that's where we're going to spend some of our time. All right, Phoenix, we got 66 people in the room. We can start talking. Y'all know we did this show when we talked about land patents, okay? We talked about different people issue. And we said Mr. Waldo have land patents. I have land patent. Ms. Labazon have land patents. And we want to talk about what is foundational. Now, last week, Ishmael mentioned Phoenix. When he was reading his chart, he was reading about the land we was talking about is considered foundational, correct? And the roots. This is the way they described it. So I told Phoenix that topic is still a little sticky, because I've talked to people of different races, and they said, I really wasn't getting the understanding. Now I'm getting the understanding. I've talked to Black people who still don't really understand. And then I'm watching different people on the internet, and I'm hearing them confuse people even worse. Heck, they confuse me. So that means we got to go back, Phoenix, and touch some key things. So, Phoenix, I'm going to start off with saying, what is foundational to you?
The root.
Is there any paperwork you and I can show? Y'all, I was going to come up on the screen tonight. Then every time I plug in the other display, the sound was acting kind of off. And I just kicked myself back off on the other one and back to this one. So Phoenix going to be on here to help us out tonight. Okay. They're asking y'all to hit them like buttons, please.
Share the video.
They say somebody didn't wash their hands. All you got to do to wash your hand is go up there and hit the like button. And you can also subscribe. That's like taking a paper towel and drying your hands. All right. Let's talk about it, Phoenix, when we say what is foundational. You said roots. So what is the root of America? It's not just slavery. Everybody stop at slavery. Indians was here. And I hear people, other hosts and their guests, talking as if people of color, period. Now I know people don't like that word, but I'm gonna have to use it. You gotta have something to separate. You know what I'm saying? It's like having a triple chocolate cake, but within the triple chocolate cake, you can see each part of the different layers of the chocolate, right? You see the chocolate cake and the two different icing colors that you put to it, the lighter and the darker, but it's still that cake. Are y'all with me? So let's look into this triple chocolate cake. And then the triple chocolate cake sits on this plate. Let's say the plate is the foundation. Okay. So what's on the plate first? You don't put the icing on the cake first. You put the cake on the cake platter first. So Phoenix, let's go with the plate itself. Because evidently they only talking about the whole cake. But each part has its own flavor it brings. Okay. And then each slice of each layer of that cake have icing in between it. So that icing separate the bottom layer from the second layer, even though it's a chocolate icing. Are y'all with me? Come on now, talk to me. We working with this chocolate cake.
That's right.
The cake is the cake and the icing is the icing. Now, what we have allowed people to do is just talk about the cake because the color of it is chocolate. But they're not talking about all what's in it. They're not talking about if I put cherries on top. None of that. We're just going to talk the cake. So foundation have layers to it. When you dig into the earth, you see different layers of dirt, but it's all considered part of the foundation. I get very frustrated and always did. I was furious when everybody was trying to make everybody African American. When something that just came on the scene, and I have not found one person in my paperwork with African American nor African on this stuff. So Africa is not going to be my foundation. And y'all know a good friend of mine was Dr. Imhotep. And I wish he was still living to see how far the fight is coming. But he would have told you. His wife can tell you. Dr. Imhotep came here by me. He didn't go to New Orleans. Everybody want to call over here New Orleans. We're not in New Orleans. He was talking about he came to St. Timothy Parish. He stayed in Pass Christian. But people take like if he was in New Orleans, no, he wasn't. And we got to start watching when people moving these names around and places around. You're wiping out something. Now, I'm going to try to come in on my telephone, but I want you to come in on the foundational points that we were talking about, far as looking at the earliest point, which would be 1820, is where we were last week. Then we have 1830. And all of this is before the 14th Amendment. I heard someone the other day say people of color only gotten their citizenship after the 14th Amendment. And I say that's not the truth. So, Phoenix, do you want to start with, again, I'm going to say, Ms. Labazon, that was coming out of the 1820 treaty, okay, where she said they didn't get it signed till 1830, because that was the treaty for you to be able to purchase, and which she didn't get it at hand, her family did until 1840 something. So that's way before the 14th Amendment. 14th Amendment, I'm not against it. Is a foundation that was put on top of foundation, another layer. Now, what I mean is, some of the people that receive their rights to be able to have property and citizenship and voting, you got to bring in the 15th Amendment too. Those people were not immigrants. Okay, Phoenix? Those were people of color. They could have been Indians. They could have been people that was freed from slave, because they was using it as a cake. We end up getting in one cake, and they're just saying chocolate cake now. How did we get there? Because at one time, people like Walter Plucker in Virginia and Naomi Drake of Louisiana start putting these boxes to divide people, and it was only two colors, black or white, or Negro and white. And they had a lot of people with lighter skin in Louisiana, but they got pitched in the black box. And that caused a lot of issue there. But those people own land too, Phoenix. And that's what Miss Lazon come out of, the families like that out of New Orleans. New Orleans had black people owning places and buildings and slaves, living more elegant than some white folks. That's right, Indians own slaves too. But what we fail to realize, and I'm gonna bring some of this chat to the stage. I'm gonna back it up. What we fail to realize, when we allow people in this day and time to keep changing names, changing boxes. So when we saying foundational black now, I have no problem with that. But I also want people to say, when they're saying this, Indians were here first that looked like this. Are y'all with me? Come on, let me know if y'all hear me. Did y'all sleep?
They wide awake.
See this color? This color offends people. See it? Why? Because when scientists go to digging, they find this color, Phoenix. They find these type bone structures. But we even have black folks that's in high places that have never protected people like us. I had to be my own lobbyist, my own lawyer. It wasn't nobody to turn to in this day and time. Can you imagine what your ancestors went through? They didn't have people look like them in the court. They couldn't even go to court unless they wanted you to court to sign yourself over. Okay? What I want y'all to understand, we the ones have to help educate the public. That's why I'm against people organizing fake tribes and fake organizations, because it's all the water already muddy. It's already muddy. It's only making it harder for you to prove who you are and who your history is. I'm gonna back up because Phoenix came. She was in the kitchen back there stirring the pot. I wanted to bring her pot to the front, and she'll bring it in the order that she see. And while she's doing that, I'm gonna be pulling something else up. Things I'm gonna come on in the room too, because I want y'all to understand, Bonfaka would not have been brought to the fullness to you all if I would have stopped. If I would have let people call it Slidell. If I would have let people call it New Orleans. You got to stand up and stand for who your people say you are. You have to know where your grounds is. This internet is good for us to network. Network knowledge, truth. But this internet is not your tribe. This is a social place. It's like going to an auditorium, hearing speakers and being within the audience. You got to do more than that. We lost our identity because we let people use the wrong names to describe us. Go back, do your genealogy. See what your grandparents was called. Do y'all understand that? Now, I'm gonna shut up and let Phoenix come on. I'm fixing to let her have her say on that. Phoenix, you got the stage.
Thank you, Chief. Well, with respect to the land patents, I don't know if y'all seen how much Glow Records has changed. It is quite different. And for someone that is just now becoming acquainted, they're going to have to dig through a lot in order to understand what's happening. First of all, only 31 states are available to view for the land patents. Not sure if y'all aware. Every state, all states are not included in the Glow Records website. You have states that are excluded, and you probably should be asking some questions why. You should be asking some questions why. Again, doing your own due diligence, because a lot of people have been out here relying on untrustworthy people to help them get to the bottom of their family history and the assets thereof. Again, going back to the different bounty warrants and stuff like that, you have to compartmentalize it because history was different, right? You don't have the same things that they had in Louisiana is not the same things that they had in Virginia. Virginia, and the states that are omitted were part of the 13 colonies and Revolutionary War, and they were dead before they received their patents for bounty warrant land in places that they did not live in, like Ohio and Iowa, states that ended up getting added after the Revolutionary War. And they still went right into the War of 1812 and still not get paid. If they were lucky enough to live past then, they did not acquire the land until other scripts came out, such as the 1820, which mean that their descendants had to continue the fight from the 1770s all the way up until when they actually got whatever the script was. So the bounty warrant being different than the 1820 cash, what was it? Act fee simple, I think they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Act fee simple, which was cash value. And let me just show you. So French parts of the United States, you have the Spanish parts of the United States, and they all had different things. And I think people forgot to check and see whether or not where their land may fall and if it became a part of something else or included, right? So Dancing Rabbit with Chief and the Choctaw tribe, Dancing Rabbit included them as citizens in the early part of the 1800s prior to the 13th and 14th Amendment. Now you have other places that they still had land systems based off of whatever European colony was at the time. So if you haven't looked up Spanish records, because there were parts of the United States that was Spanish territory before they were absorbed. Maybe there might be a treaty in there that included U.S. citizenship. And this is also to let it be very clear, certain people are included and they don't even realize what they're mad at when it comes to the questions being raised at the 13th and 14th Amendment. And if they knew law, or in fact, I'm just going to say, if they are who they say they are, why don't they stand on what it is that they were born into? And that's their bloodlines, because they're not. And I hope at some point we could get into a couple of other areas that people have not spoken about, but would have provided citizenship prior to the 14th Amendment, 13th and 14th Amendment. And I'll just give an example, the Guadalupe Hidalgo Treaty. gave the people in those areas, the strips of Nevada and Arizona and New Mexico that was inhabited by people when it was a part of Mexican territory. They would have dual citizenship as well. Those people should have their ancestry intact so that they can prove that they were a part of those people that were included in the Guadalupe Hidalgo Treaty. There's your problem solved with a lot of Mexicans being excluded as U.S. citizens. Again, going back to identity and people being aware of who it is that they are. That is something that they would be able to show proof of why their citizenship happened long before the 13th and 14th Amendment. That was just a little spicy meatball that I gave to ops, but we teaching over here, so. But let me just show y'all what these what the Spanish had, what the French had. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
While she's finding that, what y'all saying so far? Y'all with us? So what you're saying in Phoenix, we up here calling people immigrants that really could be foundational to Texas, Mexico, Arizona, and parts of Oklahoma, because that could have been a traditional homeland.
Yes, ma'am.
But then we calling people that never was from the soil. We are fighting to make them citizens above us.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So foundational does not mean just black folks. Are y'all with me? It does not just mean slave black folks. Let me put it that way. Or who you would consider black.
That's right.
And we got to be fair about this. There are people who, yes, are Spanish and Spanish descent. There were some people being abused just as bad as the Indians over here, and just as bad as they were treated over there by the Spanish on their own land. But we'll take immigrants from around the country and bring them here, and people expect us to fight for these people when nobody fought for us in the past, nor now. We're fighting for ourselves. And those who say they're foundational black, I'm saying let the cake hit the plate. Okay? Because they got layers of chocolateness going through this time. Over 200 years for sure. In some areas, over 400 years, because we got to remember, everything didn't become United States at the same time. The whole 250-year celebration is about as bad as all of the United States celebrating Juneteenth, and that happened in Texas. Are y'all with me? So 250 years, that's the East Coast. We only 190 some years right here. So you get caught up in celebrations. Another reason to barbecue, another reason to cook out, another reason to get off from work. We ought to take those holidays and study. Meet with each other. Are we eating with the family? Let's hold a meeting and eat. But who are we? Okay, Phoenix, you ready to come up on the screen? She's ready to come up on here, y'all. Here she come. She says she's ready to come on in the kitchen, out the kitchen to the dining room. Okay, what we looking at here, Phoenix?
The different types of patents throughout the history, the different systems before the United States leading up to. The Spanish call their land patents Mercedes, like a Benz. Crown
1500s. That's way. That means you got people of color that have land patents, some part of the area, like Mexico, Texas, that came under the Spanish, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But that's the foundation, huh?
That's right.
Okay, come on, let's go. Let's cut some more up into this cake.
And you got the French, they had long lots, narrow river fronting strips that guaranteeing access to water. They call this the seigneurial system, and it's still in the parishes.
And like Louisiana, we not only did they have people of color, they had free people of color. It is proven that never were slaves, came straight in here from France, of color, marrying Indians of color, which means they would have had land. Where you at? 1600s, early 1600s.
Yes, ma'am. And then in 1607s, you had head white grants, and this is what happened in Virginia and most of those British royal colonies. And then now in 1776, you see United States, and this is where these globe patents come in.
Okay, let's go right here. So we're going to just X out all of the past, and we're going to just start in 1776 in the East Coast, 1776. And we're going to just ditch everything else. That doesn't make sense. There were people of color throughout each one of those eras. The first people they saw here was dark. Go look at the documents. So 1776. Now we got land patents for America. Which Phoenix just told you, if y'all don't go get your stuff, it's getting confusing over there. While we bickering over stupid stuff, go get your stuff. Do your homework. They distracted. They got people together to distract you. When you woke up to who you were, they went on and distract you.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah.
You know why they distracted you? So they could have cleanup time. Did y'all understand what she's saying? I want y'all to understand. Trickery. That's all they've been using on us, tricking us. I'm looking at you now. They've been tricking us. So you're going to tell me there was no people of color prior to 1776?
Right.
That will be classified as foundation. Look at the layers of cake she just showed you. And each layer got some icing. They conquered most of us with chocolate icing. They threw another layer, chocolate icing. Throw another layer, some more chocolate icing. Are y'all with me? You know, with a chocolate cake, you can also put cherries and nuts on top. And you looking at how pretty the cake is, but that you don't know what nobody went through to get that wheat, grind that wheat. You see, you don't see that part. You don't see the foundation of that cake of who made it. So the first foundation to me are the indigenous people. Because somebody put over there, they became prisoners on their own land. Then we can go to the slaves who were brought and put on another layer on top of the first layer. Because the icing had been put on the cake, first layer, while they was getting the other layer ready to lay on top. Then that becomes the second foundational layer. That would be the people they brought in for slavery. Because remember, the plate itself have people of color as well as people not of color owning slaves and taking advantage of the Indians. That was the bottom plate. You where I'm at, Phoenix? And then she just showed you other layers. And each one of them layers brought people of color. It's hard to find out who's foundational, Phoenix, if you don't go get your foundational stuff. Okay, y'all. She back with another piece to serve. There you go. What you serving now, Phoenix?
The General Land Office and the bounty warrants and how to make their distinction. General Land Office of 1812. This is where they surveyed and distributed federal public domain. They used a rectangular survey system and they created townships and sections. This is a total, complete, different system and breakdown than the Spanish meets and bounds and French river strip surveys. And you'll see the difference if you look at the old versus the more modern. The digitized patents are still searchable at Globe Records, but good luck navigating through them. They are not that sophisticated. They're completely different. I'll just say that, and it's going to take you some time to sort through them. The old links, if you saved them previously via the links, they're not going to work anymore. So you have to go and do the work all over again.
Yeah.
The bounty land warrants, military service paid in acreage, the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, and the Mexican War. And they were also redeemed within the new grid system. Then they gave more specific townships and ranges, and then they added sections to them. Less than 1 in 10 recipients or heirs ever claimed land that most sold the warrant. Most of them sold their warrants. So they say, but nobody's really been keeping track of what it is that their family had to even say that. So that's a different type of jukes that still remains to be seen. And even if that is the case, you would still have to find the same case. The land has to be sold by the person that descends from the person that had the patent. American Indians, they also became eligible under a specific act in March 3rd of 1855. And again, that's going back to the scripts, different conscriptions that applied, in which case that they were granted these lands. So again, there's a couple of treaties. There's Dancing Rabbit, and this is still before Guadalupe Hidalgo. So what Indians became eligible under that? These are some of the things that people need to be looking at. And you can also tell when people trying to hustle y'all. Because now if you're not finding out how they obtained these lands, how they got these warrants, how they were sold and whatever, you really can't make too much noise. You need to be certain, like Miss Lebrizon is certain what's going on. And there's, the proof is in the aggression of them even locking her up and holding her in contempt of court to have her sign something they saying she does not own. Why would she give away her interest? It wouldn't mean anything. But apparently it means a whole lot to them. So, again, knowing the story and how it was obtained, that's the foundation right there. And there's some foundational activity that your ancestors definitely had to be a part of to even be in it to win it.
So what you're saying there, Phoenix, everybody looking at, they're trying to make everybody look at the 14th Amendment, which within the 14th Amendment, it was talking about descendants of slaves. And it also said tax and non-tax Indians. There's 3 groups of people they're talking about in there. Y'all understand? But there were some people already had citizenship through the earlier agreements, through land patents. Okay? Like for my people, for instance, 1830.
Right.
Prior to that, they was not considered American citizens because, first of all, America didn't get here until 1808. Wasn't really cleared between the bickering of the dispute until about 1820. And then here, 1820, then 10 years later, Phoenix, we talking about removal. Well, not even 10 years later. Really, they started talking about it in 1824. The removal.
Right.
End up making it to 1830, which was then ratified in 1831. Do y'all understand what I'm saying out there? And people didn't get their land patents in 1831, a lot of them, Phoenix. Some people didn't get it. I know one of my grandfather, like I said, his land patents didn't get here till I think 1950s or 70s or something like that. It did something 19. Then the Department of Records clarified it out. because you have to go through these appointed people who was always foreigners or immigrants who then became judges, who had friends and families in other states and was able to manipulate the system because that was within their realm, not in the realm of the people of color. And I'm gonna keep saying people of color because they done black and brown it so much. I thought black and brown was for black folks in the first place, but now they got people that's brown that don't look brown to me. See, switch that word, change the definition. Now you done lost a group of people. When I was coming up, they had yellow, black, brown, and white people. Did I miss anybody in the color box?
No.
Oh, yeah, they had tan and beige. Did they, they had, like I told you, at first they had the two color box. I was looking at a documentary showing, I think it was Dana was doing it or something, and it was showing where the white people are disappearing. Did you see that one, Phoenix? And she had the two maps. And she walking it up to where you barely see white folks now. And it's not because they dying out. It's because they changing their race. She said, I do not mark the white box anymore. So by her not marking the white box, now she's marking another box. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So the white race is deteriorating because the people is in other races, marking other boxes. They eliminating their own race that they fought to get in. And their ancestors fought to get in. Are y'all with me? Somebody say they saw that video. Yep. Chicago, Arkansas. Yeah, you saw it, huh? Okay. Did you see how that thing just turned from blue to majority white? Well, that's what they did with the Indians. The Indians wasn't killed. They just moved.
They didn't die of smallpox.
Another box. Y'all with me? I remember black folks getting mad, telling me, you just don't want to stand on your African-American roots. I don't have none. I don't even have an African-American story, but the Jesse Jackson story. Okay? And y'all know I've been saying that before Jesse died. So, ain't no big deal about it. It's a fact. But a lot of times and most stuff that we get caught in, they send people that look like us to erase us. And then they can say, well, we didn't do it. They looked like you. That's why we can't just vote for people because their skin color look like ours. I'm on here. I'm trying to see some Democrats. See, I was talking to a guy working a campaign the other day. I said, I'm not bashing the Democrats and I'm not glorifying the Republicans. I'm just telling the facts how it is. When there's some Democrats who want us to come back and vote on that side, when are they going to take up our plight? When am I going to hear the Black Caucus say, y'all, we left out a group of people who were foundational? If it's foundational Indians, you got stuff within those treaties you need to be dealing with. If it's foundational because you descended of slaves, they owe you reparation. They paid the whole world reparations and incentives, but they won't right their wrong here. So if somebody are foundational Black and can prove they foundational, we should be working together. You understand? That's why I say second half networking. We need to network. The Black Caucus is immigrants. And how you going to ask an immigrant to stop an immigrant? How are we going to do that? So that's when we got to do what we're doing now. Build our channels. Okay, I don't want to talk about free Larry Hoover, none of this right now. We're talking about foundational Black. Why are we talking about it? Because that's what everybody hollering now. They're not saying African American. Who's still saying African Americans are the Democrats and our social media people and our broadcasters professional. They still leaving us out. I can't free nobody till I free my people. Phoenix can't free nobody till she free her people. People was putting Black Lives Matter all over everything. Does it matter if we don't stand up? If we don't talk? Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
We control. Phoenix, I couldn't get my phone to get in. It told me something. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, you remember the picture I sent you the other night about Bonfaka?
Yes.
Could you bring it up so, people's like, she made up Bonfaka. There is no Bonfaka. And Phoenix, I know you want to show them because you comes to Bonfaka now. But that came because I kept fighting, guys. Because that's what my grandparents told me. And I was raised in Bonfaka, knowing it was Bonfaka. And I was here watching it disappear. Y'all understand? You have to stand up. You have to network. You have to learn the truth. Stop trying to catch spaceship games and all this stuff people telling you about. Yeah, they'll starve you out if you don't do and say what they want you to say. We win in elections in St. Tammany Parish across political and racial lines because we're concentrating on our business and we are not worrying about all this world issue. Home first. Okay, I know who you is. Your grandma used to tell you about Bonfaka. I guess she did. She
said something very important, and a lot of people are afraid of it.
What's that?
Home.
Some people don't know what home is.
Home first.
I don't want to keep reading the story on Roland Martin. Y'all got to go over there and talk with Roland because he's still on African American everything. He's just finding out they got Black Indians. Come on now.
Wait till he find out about the Black Europeans.
They ain't made it there yet. They haven't made it there yet. And I'm not saying
the only time they think of Black Indians, they go straight to the Seminoles.
He's not. That's the only Black Indians they think existed. But let me explain something to y'all. These talk show hosts or whatever they is, they are gearing stuff that they cannot, how can I put it? They don't have ideas of what they're talking about. You only should talk about what you know. Let me do it that way. So if nobody taught you the truth, you only know the fake. So I'm looking at college degree, highly educated, they say, speaking for everybody around the country and don't know the reality right here in America because they've been concentrating in other countries. How are we going to fix Africa and we can't fix ourselves in a small community here? I'm concentrating on where I'm at. And if everybody concentrate on where they are at, we can do it.
Did we feed people the whole 70s and 80s and 90s? I think Feed the Children just stopped in probably the early 2000s.
But then they're over here telling us we nobody. We just a nobody. Okay? You know, wait, I'm looking for it to send it to you. Here it come. I'm going to send it to you by text, okay?
Okay.
So when I'm saying there's a treaty, a Bonfaka treaty with Spain in the 1700s, way before, that ain't counting all the other ones we have with Spain, way before the Dancing Rabbit Treaty with United States. And what name is on it? Bonfaka. I know what my foundation is. I know Bonfaccar was here in 1493. Why? It's on the wall of Spain. That's getting down to the roots of it. So if I was the foundation of Spain and France and Britain, automatically I'm the foundation of America. And over in this part, they had people that look like me that don't know nothing about slavery. Enslaving nobody or being a slave. Are y'all with me? Phoenix getting ready to come back. Bonfaccar was here before Louisiana was here. Is that a good way to put that? Bonfaccar is foundational proof that I can prove Bonfaccar was here. My elected officials said Bonfaccar is the foundational place. Bonfaccar was where the head of the nation was. But you see, they can't go scrub all the records in Spain, France, and Britain. They trying it now. I'm not sending y'all to no documents. Why I'm not sending y'all to the documents? Because you need to know, especially you, I know who you are and where you go. But if you don't know how to protect it, the same people will come back and try to erase you. I've been fighting this step by step, putting the facts where the facts need to go. All right, Phoenix, you about ready to come back? People didn't, people walk around and saying, so I'm from Slidell. I'm from New Orleans.
Yes.
Before they would say they was from Bonfaccar. I was in the Jet and Ebony magazine. They said, where you from? Bonfaccar. I remember after Katrina, I think it was 2000, early part of 2006, no farther than the midsummer point. We were in, I was in Arkansas, but they asked me to come to Atlanta for the groundbreaking for the SCLC building. And I went, and let me explain something to y'all. I went to that one first, or it was the thing with the voting right bill. It was two things back to back, and Jesse was there. But this one particular time, we all was on stage, Jesse, Judge Mathis, all of us, Dick Gregory, Andy Young, and Jesse, he was really laughing. Hold on, let me answer this person. I am married to a Gillum. He said, your last name is Gillum. I've been a Gillum for 51 years. I do have French blood in me, though. I'm not ashamed of my French blood. Do you know where your French blood come from? Or whatever? Because I know where my French blood come from. And y'all can call yourself foundational black, but you got something in there, too. All of y'all. All of y'all. I'm not hiding. I've never hid. I got French in me. That's why I know I wasn't a slave. Everybody wasn't slaving. Okay? And my people didn't have no slave. Gillum is my married name, baby. Not my birth name. Okay. Now, Bonfaccar in English, you got to put an O where you got that A. Is what it mean in our language is more important than what it mean in English, because there's no English meaning, but it's our meaning. It means we from the bayou, we the people of the bayou, residents of the bayou. That's the best way I can break that down to you. Okay? We down here in the waters. It's where we live. And this is what every country wanted, was these bayous and rivers and lakes. And the Gulf. We was where boats could travel and go all over. The waterway was like highways. That was the way you maneuver. So if you had water, you had a way to build your economy. Okay? And we weren't broke. Yeah, that's what I say, resident by people of the waters. That's us. Now, Phoenix, I'm fixing to bring it up. But anyway, back to the story before I saw somebody trying to make me feel I don't have French blood that I'm not ashamed of. If you stick around, you'll get one day you'll get to know where that come from. That came from Nicholas Ducree, okay? Not from Gillum. My French blood come from Ducree. Yeah, Nicholas Ducree. Now, what we were saying, Phoenix, before I got distracted with someone doing my ancestry or trying to do it. Jesse thought it was so funny when I said I was from Bonfacab when I was on the thing. And like I told y'all, and Andy Young, he's still living. Andy Young had to correct him because his daddy came from this same tribe and was born and raised in Lacombe. And that's another story we're going to get to. When did Lacombe become Lacombe, just like when did Slidell become Slidell? So, Phoenix, I'm finna bring it to the stage. All right, y'all. See what my fight did? I didn't do this. This is the remaining points of unincorporated Bonfacab. Phoenix, you want to bring it up for them to see? Oh, there is a Bonfacab. Can you make it a little bigger, Phoenix?
Yes, give me 1 second.
All that darkness you see, that's water.
Give me 1 second. And I'm sorry, I done put the wrong person in timeout. I'm going to try and get you back, Chicago.
Yeah, because I don't need them coming over here aggravating our chat. If they're not staying on topic and they trying to promote, then that means they're not interested in what we're talking about. We over here in our own world. Yeah, baby, this is the Delta. Not the fake Delta. Because I'm coming back with a show next week. We're going to be showing these different Mississippis a little bit. Y'all want some of that? Because we got to, they're using words, but not putting the maps with the words for the timeline. Okay, Phoenix? And by next week, I'm going to be where I can do some screen sharing too. Do y'all understand what I'm trying to tell y'all?
There you go. I got it up. I can blow it up now.
Okay. Move you to this stage. Add to the stage. Take this one off. Bring this one on. Do y'all see it? Can you see it? I didn't make this. Do you see Bonfacab in them cap letters? But all of it was Bonfacab at one time. But I had something to fight for. Because I went on the truth. Not Africa, Bonfacab. Some of y'all spent years trying to get to Africa. Because somebody said that. Because somebody created that. So there is a Bonfacab. And I'm going to come on with you some paper of what my state, my parish, and my city say. I'm not fighting to prove that who I am and I'm not from Africa. I know where I'm from. My people got paperwork showing where they from. Greens don't mean, my greens didn't come out of Choctaw, see? They Cherokee. Now I told y'all, you gotta know what's in you. I know where each one of my legs come from. The original Bonfacab was bigger, bigger, bigger. Big, big. Real big. I'm not gonna get to that part yet. Because I don't need my enemies running up ahead of me because they say they're Indian. But my government know how big it was. That's what's important. I'm not here to prove who I am. I'm here to tell you what you need to do to get yourself proven. Look, stop trying to do my genealogy over there. Okay? You can't discredit me, whoever you are. This show is not about my genealogy. So if you do it again, any one of y'all, get off the topic. The ranchers is going to ranch you out. Stay on the topic. This is not one of the rooms you go in and just clown like a fool. So my ranches can take you out. Now, if you want to stay and enjoy it, because I'm not trying to get rich off of this. And I'm not in competition. So if that K3P and that other one start with the genealogy again, can one of y'all ranchers please ranch them on out?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I made a mistake in wrenching the wrong people. Yes, ma'am.
Ranch this K3P because they're not on topic. You worrying about where I'm from. Do you know where you from? Heck, I done told more of my history than anybody on this page and shown proof over the many years. Because I've been out here fighting before there was an internet. So I ain't got to prove nothing to you. Now get out of our chat. People over here want to be here. We're not here to challenge each other. We're here to encourage each other, network with each other. Okay? And you're going to respect this room or get out. And I'm serious about that. Anybody that know Chief, that's the way Chief is, baby. And you could take your like with you. If you like the thing, you can unlike it and go. Go somewhere where you put your money. Because your money ain't over here. Okay, Phoenix. Back to what I was saying. A lot of time people don't understand that their history is right there beneath their nose. You understand what I'm saying? Right there. Uh-oh, lost Phoenix. Now, how did Phoenix get kicked out? Oh, no. Oh, one sec. We got to get Phoenix to come on back, Phoenix. I did what Phoenix doing, trying to get somebody out, Noreen. Now we know how that worked. Wait, Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm back.
We better leave them people alone for me and you be to kick us off the stage. Look, I'm like, okay, now I know how she did it. Look, I got it.
Yeah.
I know just how it happened. Look, I know just how it happened. But, you know, what I'm trying to say, things what a lot of them don't understand is it doesn't make sense for us to fight each other when the enemy having the ball. Okay? And they send people to distract you. That's what we was just talking about. And then you just seen a distractor come in.
Just that. Mm-hmm.
And most probably look just like us. Don't have nothing else to do tonight with their time but to distract the conversation. Okay? I'm proud of all of my bloods. I'm Shatta Phoenix because I'm on Shatta land. And that's my maternal side of my family. And it's a matriarch. Okay? And I come from a line of women. I got more than one chief in my legs across it because a lot of time the chief's children married the chief's children. That was part of the treaties that United States made sure that we carry out too. But it was already our tradition, but they added themselves in there, so we had to marry some of them Europeans too. That's how we get them French people. And some of y'all have been using these words, swate, and this. You ain't even know that a couple of years back. You just come over here like you've been knowing all this all along. I bet you done been through every one of them groups they got out there looking for yourselves. And when somebody come to try to tell you how to do it legitimately, how to do it legally, then run around there doing all kind of legal stuff, illegal stuff. trying to take land and take houses, and that ain't the way it works. What you mean? So Rod was right. Right. Who's Rod? What he was right about? Chief will click out on you? Yes, I will. Don't care what color you is or religion or time of day, no matter what your title is. You think I got this for being stupid and a pushover? You don't get this far like that. But one thing I'm not doing, I'm not trying to con you. Okay?
Well, I think there's a few more layers than that too, because your integrity is unmatched also. That's a big part. Integrity. When you're dealing with these people that been out here with the mess, their integrity is off.
How many of them fakes can invite you to their town? You've been to Bonfire and you've been to Slidell. I'm not faking on here what I'm doing and what the people doing here. They on their internet Indians. Feathers up and tail down. Because you don't know which way is up and which way is down. I'm trying to tell you, yeah, a lot of y'all are Indians, but y'all done played the game so much. You ain't nothing but a masker. I don't need any of my tribal clothes on to be who I am. When I wear my slash, that's a slash of respect because that's my flag. I'm not running around here with no hot leather on me and a turkey feather in my head. Hot as it is down here. If you're an Indian, you're supposed to walk in the room and be respected as who you are, no matter what you're wearing. And y'all wearing all that hot, stupid junk, going under houses, holding powwows and in parks, and still not being respected as an Indian in America. Since you want to go that far, you really don't want me to go this far. So, back to it. Don't make me make this kitchen hot and burn it up again. Okay? So back to the audience that came to hear. There is hope. You just got to watch who you're voting for, please, because a lot of people we are voting for do more damage than any good for us. Some of these people, y'all spending hours on the internet talking stupid stuff and cursing. I was told when you curse like that, you have a low vocabulary. You don't have a real word to put in there. Get rid of that placeholder. That placeholder, you could be putting another word there that someone could understand and have a definition to bring you forward. Y'all don't understand. They want you to act stupid, tantalize people's chat rooms, tantalize the church, tantalize everything. The Democrat Party, I want to touch on that because that's where I was fixing to go. The Democrat Party been taken over, like a lot of other organizations, with other people's agenda. Has nothing to do with you as a foundation to America. Not addressing your situation. Didn't I hear some of y'all saying, I don't want to be bothered with America. I am of America. What was that?
One woman is saying she can't vote because she's independent. That's not true.
Huh?
She said she can't. She's independent and she can't vote. That's not true.
But I don't know where she's at.
Yeah.
If you're independent, you can't vote in certain elections. Okay, Noreen was bringing to my attention somebody was saying about voting. If you're in Louisiana or out of Louisiana, every state is a little different. But I do plan on bringing the voter register from our area onto the new show I'm starting because that's not a history thing. And the new show, if somebody be nice, drop it in the box. You can go over there and you can register. And as we start going on, you'll be already there. But let's talk St. Tammany. I plan on bringing some people in because a lot of people are asking because of the changes in election. They're asking what to do and what they can't vote for, and I think we need to touch on that. I'm not worrying about parties, but I will tell you this. I am highly concerned about people voting. Your voting right is important. Don't let nobody, if somebody telling you not to vote, that person is not looking out for you.
I dropped the channel in the chat.
She dropped the channel in the chat. If y'all don't mind, it's up by Phoenix Moon with the range. Click on over there. I'm looking at it over here. Channel haven't opened up yet, Phoenix, but we got 19 people that subscribe. Getting ready. Thank y'all, 19 people. Okay? But what I want y'all to understand, you have to really understand the right way. They want to see you do something wrong and have the boys with them black suit, black car, black sheds come and kick your door down. And you don't have to do it that way. And don't have nobody on this internet. The reason I'm on here is because Phoenix and I talked in 2019 about coming out here, keeping people from taking advantage of people. Baby, I'm not gonna let nobody bother me. I don't mind setting them straight though. You know that, baby. Chief ain't gonna let her get me out of the way.
Generally, well, here in New York, back to what you were saying about being independent and or no party, you can't vote. We can't vote in the primaries. I can vote in the general. I can't vote in the primaries.
That's correct. And I see the other lady over here talking about it. 79 about the primaries, yes. But in Louisiana, we have a no party. Okay? And no party, we sign an affidavit when we vote. We decide which side we want to vote on. You can do it ahead of time or you do it the day of election. So then you got to vote primary and the regular election the way you started. You see what I'm saying? You can't switch after you done did that. So if I voted for a Democrat, I have to vote for the Democrat for the runoff. Y'all with me?
Right.
That's when you vote for the primary. But I get a chance to pick who I want to vote for on either side of the coin. But now what I'm seeing people saying, when I went in that poll, I just have to, the Democrats only could vote for Democrat and the Republican only vote for the Republican, and that's where they locked in. I think that's what 79 is trying to say too. And the other lady, whoever it was, Noreen, you saw. But that's why I am no party. You understand, Phoenix? Nobody automatically have my vote. I didn't convey my power, my independence to nobody. I'm on what the Constitution said. I'm one man, one vote. You got to come coat us.
That's right.
I live in a parish where 40-some thousand is Democrat, 60-some thousand of us, 61 plus thousand, it might be even higher, is no party, and 90-some thousand is Republican. So the real swing vote got more votes, which is the no party, than the Democrat. And we have a chance to make a change or impact on whatever going on in the Republican by being no party. We voting by issues, not by parties. We've been telling the children, stop the Crips and the blood and the Reds and the blue, and you mean to tell me the grown-ups running around here with red and blue? And if somebody see you talking to the wrong color, you get talked about? It's the kind of distraction they've been using. Let me give you something to drink right quick. Hold up. And I only drink cold drinking water and juice, okay, y'all? Now, what we trying to say is we need to unify on learning the history. Y'all understand? Why? Everybody can bring something to the table. Like Phoenix just said, everything changing on these records. They changing. The Democrat Party, if you go research, nothing changed. And I worked over there for years, put hard work and money over there. And they never mentioned nothing on a national level about Indians that look like me. I never thought I would ever agree with Thomas. That man up there trying to tell the black folks what the 14th Amendment was meant for, and they mad. Trump say it's for the black people, the descendant of the slave. Black folks mad. Do that make sense to you, Phoenix?
None at all. None at all.
He telling you the foundation, and you mad. But the other side won't tell you the foundation, and that the law was put there for you and not for immigrants. I'm listening to that black so-called educated people misinterpreting it too. And it ain't no different in educated folks misinterpreting the 14th Amendment than it is a preacher preaching from a repeated tape from somebody else. Bad leadership is bad leadership. That's why you should study, research, find out for yourself. Okay? We letting people play with our minds. And you know, when you don't know who to lash out at, you can just lash out at anybody, or even come in this room where ain't nobody lashing at nobody, nobody's cursing nobody, and you want to pick with us too. Idle mind is the devil workshop. Instead of saying, what could we do to get this right? Y'all understand? Your mind is a sacred place. Don't let nobody enter into your sacred zone. We up here letting people tell us who we are, what we can do, and they ain't even doing that with their own children. When somebody tell you something, go research. I'm not saying ignore when somebody says something, but take it with a grain of salt. If y'all like what we're talking about tonight, let me see you send some fire. While y'all sending some fire, welcome Phoenix back to the studio on talking to you on where she coming from with this. Because it's too much. While we wasting time here, you better be getting your records. Because they shut it up and hiding and making it harder for you to get it.
They really are. And I mean, they are moving things around in a way that you're going to have to start all over again. And again, if you didn't have copies of what it is that you have before, I'm not saying that you can't obtain them, but they may not be, they're definitely not going to be easily accessible the way they were before. Even down to the geospatial maps, it is absolutely different, and you're probably going to have to call them. In which case, I think that's kind of like a power trip on their part, because to slow down people or discourage them from going to get the information. You're going to have to go out and explore. You're going to have to go out and explore, even if that means going to that regional office, because they're broken down into regions. And definitely you want to check different legislative records as well. You check the county records, you check the court records. Different disputes and things happen in those court cases as well, that you probably should educate yourself. It's not just finding census records and things like that. You have to look at different details that give you more information. Again, those court records for the county, and sometimes you have to figure out based on the time frame if the county is called something different. If they were called a parish at the time, like South Carolina had parishes, Louisiana, I think Louisiana's the only one that still has them,
We
right?
still have parishes.
But South Carolina used to have
And we go
parishes.
underneath the Napoleonic law.
Right, right. So that some and even Virginia had parishes, but they're completely defunct. So different documents again will say different things. They will called something else at another time. Incorporated, unincorporated. But the moral to the story is you have to find where the surviving records are in those regards, and also look through the records. People that are in proximity to the people that you found on the census records. You always look to the left and look to the right and see what families are living next door to your ancestors as you are trolling through the different decades with them. A lot of that doesn't change for them either. And some of those are the families, like, for example, the Atkins and the Bradbys. Those families, Chickahominy and Paul Monkey, kept interacting, and it's hundreds of years later and it's still the same thing, right? But you look in the proximity of those records, so you know what group of people were living in this area. It's undeniable what people were living in that area. Regardless of the misclassification, there's always going to be clues. But it doesn't have to be Indian land. Like, there is a lot of European ancestors that had land. And that's what a lot of people also need to understand. And they still have, and it comes down to when people are being called American, just like the 1820 Webster definition says, it was originally applied to the people copper colored people that were here before Europeans. And then there's a comma, but now applies to Europeans and their descendants. So foundational Americans are not all black.
I think some people are going to be shocked when they find out that they got cousins and that's whiter than snow, but it's blood linked and paper linked. And you cannot it's not a white black fight, y'all. If y'all saying foundational to America, I ain't going back on them other places you were things on the other layers. Foundational to America is going to be a lot of European. But and we got to realize there's two different things you're talking about there. Now, does everybody that has property is due a reparation for slavery? No,
absolutely not.
So this is what I'm saying. Let's talk about these things as they go through the layers. Because white people got more Indian blood. I mean, white and skin on the classification of white. And got more Indian blood than some people dark as pepper. That was not from here originally. Y'all with where I'm at? And then they got those who say they for the foundation from the descendant of slaves, and what is that on OD? What is it here? Whatever in the heck that one is. They have a real legit claim if they have proven you heard that word? If they have proven that their ancestors were slaves. ADOS, that's it, right? And then you got foundation, but now what you gotta watch, each one of those classifications is just a abbreviation to the overall word, because there is no such nothing in the history that's going to get me foundational black on a piece of paper. You with where I'm at, Phoenix? And there's going to be nothing say ADOS, none of that. You can't unite to that. You have to unite to something foundational that have paperwork that been ratified. And we all need to be thinking about that 14th Amendment. And then another thing, I hear people scaring people, they're going to run you back or take you somewhere. And I'm looking at, they're getting all these celebrities to scare people. They're going to be shipping you, so they ain't shipping me nowhere but the Bonfaka, and I'm already here. Okay?
Well, what would that mean? I just have a question. What would that mean if 1924 Native Americans became U.S. citizens? That supersedes the 13th and 14th Amendment, wouldn't it?
That's what I'm saying. And I'm sure those people have land back. Even if you can't get the land back, like I've been saying, it's still your genealogy foundation. You understand, Phoenix?
Yes, ma'am.
That's your foundation. That's what you link back to at a certain time and point in history. Are y'all with me? We got nearly 200 people in the room. 180, well, it was 189, 187. Hope you hit the likes. But this is not a black and white issue. It is not a Democrat Republican issue. 190 people in the room. I hope you hit the like button and subscribe. They're using race as a tool. They're using party as a tool to divide and conquer. And some people get a natural high off of just sitting there debating and bickering. They have nothing else to do with their time. If you're really serious about this is your country, then you'll be working to make it a better place for your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. Don't be shamed because you're an American. Because people are dying to be in America. People are lying to stay in America. People are trying to take America. But they'll make you discouraged with the place. Promise your stuff and take it back. You got to stand on who you are. You got people standing there and preach to you about going to heaven and won't even tell you how to get to the poll and vote, and you got to live here before you get to heaven. I never did say Indians didn't own, and you see you're still picking because y'all get rid of K3P. I said that earlier. Evidently, you can't hear. All Indians didn't own slaves. Like all white folks didn't own slaves. I said black and white. Actually, most of your Indians that owned slaves were mixed breeds. That was the European side of them. Actually, who put fence up was the European Indians, not the Indians that like to be free. I said in a meeting a couple of weeks ago, Indians didn't have jailhouses and courthouses. Isn't that something, Phoenix? Why we got to have jailhouses and courthouses now? Because we got people like you. So could y'all get rid of K3P? Not cooperating. Can one of them ranchers catch it first?
Yeah, he gone. He gone.
Yeah. Take him out. Because he come over here to distract us. We're not competing with nobody. Thank you, Sunflower. I know your paperwork is disappearing, and Phoenix and I are saying you need to get it. And if you think you got links saved, go check them links and print your stuff out. I'm not telling you to do nothing illegal, go up against the country, or none of that. I'm here telling you find who you are before it get harder. You don't have time to play. And a lot of people are going to be disappointed when they find out that they are not foundational to this country. That they are not the bottom layers of the cake. They got some layers at the top of this cake only came in just a few years ago. They got layers on top of this chocolate cake that only just came in 50, 60, and 100 years ago. But they look like us. That's why I say this triple chocolate cake. You understand, Phoenix?
Yes, ma'am.
And they poured icing on top. But when you cut that chocolate, it still don't match. You can see the different. All right. Anybody have any questions? Let me see who we're gonna bring to the stage. Phoenix, you can drop it in the box. I'm trying to go back and see who we're gonna bring. Let me see. Da, 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 da. You know, I'm gonna bring you in. Sunflower, I'm bring you in. Drop the link in the box. We're gonna bring Sunflower in. Sunflower got rid of that little headache that was trying to brew.
Okay.
Yeah. Bring Nikki in. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what you think about what we're talking about. She have the patience to come like you and Ishmael to Monfort to see if we lying, telling the truth, working or not. See, I'm not talking about these people playing what they doing. And yeah, I'm proud of my elected officials. And while we're waiting on Sunflower, Phoenix, I don't know if I done told our audience that I think I did earlier. I will be recording with the parish channel on the 3rd on lifestyle. We talking about the museum and some of the plans we're gonna be doing. And I will also be planning on that day with them on how we're gonna start our outdoor series that we will be recording areas that'll be able to be seen on the parish channel and on my channel. So when y'all come to town touring like y'all do, you already have some places you could be then made your mind up and written down what you want to go see. You like that?
Hey, yes, indeed. I love it. I love it. Magical place. Ain't no place like it. I'll tell you that much. Magical place.
We trying to work hard together down here to have a proud place for all of us, not one of us. But if we stay stuck on stupid, just worrying about colors and parties, we're not gonna move forward. Cause I'm not leaving and they not leaving.
Sunflower, I emailed the link.
Okay, tell me what y'all thinking about the show. While we waiting on Sunflower, I'm reading over here with y'all. Tell me what you got to say now. She said, okay. Hmm? Who? Where you at? He want to come on? Okay, we got Phil on there. Phoenix Noreen says name Nola. That's why Cooking with Chief was first on the radio show. You can bring him on, Phoenix. Let me hear what he got to say. He crossed on the other side of the lake. He see what we doing over here. Let's hear from people that know what we doing and know we working hard. What is it?
Talk of the town.
She said, bring Talk of the Town in, Phoenix. Talk of the Town, Nola.
I dropped it in the chat for you, Phil.
She says in the chat, Phil. Click on in and come on over. So while we're waiting on our guests to come on,
Don't none of y'all weirdos take that as no opportunity to click that link, okay?
because you sure won't look, they will not be accepted to the stage by me, neither you. So that'll be a waste of their come on stage. I'm dealing with people that really want to see things better in America. They say security at the door, Phoenix.
Yes, indeed.
We worked hard to build this place. We're not letting no weird people tear it down, okay, guys? Because if they try to tear it down, we'll build it back up. Phoenix, we're doing good. We got 31 people over there in Let's Talk. That's gonna be fire over there. Thank you, 2291.
Yes,
Thank you, 8844. You know, I like this. I want to share it. That's what 8844 said. This show is fire. That's what we want. People that's wanting to learn. While we waiting on them to come on, I'm gonna click through a few. You know, I wish this show can. Oh, here we go. Who is Frenchman? Phoenix, you didn't have no Frenchman on that list.
No, ma'am.
Frenchman, you're not coming on stage. You got to be called up by the hosts. Two people that's coming up. They done been here. They know factual. They can verify we not lying. This is about showing people how truth works. Okay, Phoenix?
Yes, ma'am.
When you can say what you say and people know that what you're saying is factual. Because they done seen for themselves. See, that's the part we got to get people to understand. But we're going to keep this channel rolling without mess.
Yes, ma'am. Chief, I want to thank you for all your help getting that petition out. We had a big jump, probably almost 120 people in the last couple of days that signed the petition. And thank you so much. Thank you for
we
all
gotta
your
thank
help.
all the people that signed the petition. If you haven't signed it, please sign the petition. You know, to make changes, we got to do things the right way. There is Sunflower. She having a little problem connecting. You know, Phoenix, we're trying to do it the right way. They
Yes,
need to be
ma'am.
talking to their legislators and their councilmen and their aldermen and all of this stuff if you really know who you are. And you know, even if you're not fighting as an American Indian, if you say you're foundational black, you can't say you don't want to deal with politics because it ain't no other way for you to get your word across or to change nothing legally. So you got to do it the right way. And you saying it ain't the right way don't make it change. You can't do it that way. Prove the point. Sunflower, you got to try it again for some reason. It said the device not connected. Come back and try it again. She not coming in, Phoenix.
Maybe go out and come back in.
Yeah, that's what I ain't trying to kick out because none of that over here.
And use the Chrome browser. It doesn't really work too well. Or maybe it's the Safari browser you might have to use. I forget which one on the phone.
I think she's trying to come in on Facebook. That's what it's showing. It's not coming in.
You streaming on Facebook also?
Nope.
Hold on. Let me send it again. Oh, not that link. Hold on a second. The link is in the chat. I'll drop it again.
Okay. Did you see? I don't see Phil even.
Okay, Phil and Sunflower. I dropped the link again. Click that link.
This is funny.
Yes, indeed. I just saw that too. That's right. That's right.
That was funny. I liked it. All right. Sunflower.
Mulatto.
All right, you made it. You made it. What you think about the look of the show?
Oh, it's beautiful. I am so excited. It's just seeing it on TV. It's just really want to make me get there again, you know, just to see where you brought it from since January. I'm
So
so
you say it's
excited.
looking you say it's looking good on the television. Thank you.
Yes. I'm like, wait a minute. I was in there, Chad.
I was trying to share it. And this is a good way to share it for those who can't come. It'll give them a chance to get a taste of it. What you saying about the show?
I'm gonna have to listen to the replay because I was actually working today.
Okay.
But as always, I was just so excited looking at the clock, waiting. We were having a countdown party and we were like, I said, she's live, we gotta go, we gotta go.
See,
So
they
yeah.
don't understand. They don't understand. We have a team over here, huh? We worked hard to do this. And we're gonna have the second channel coming up real soon. Okay. And we're gonna go deeper into some other stuff that's not just about history. Like I said, we're gonna have history on there a little bit, but mainly we need to help people. Okay, who is True Handle? I'm getting all these different people popping up, but not the right one. Handle the Truth. Well, Handle the Truth, I didn't invite you to the stage yet. Okay, I'm looking for one more particular person. What would you say about foundational people? What when you hear that and you hear African American and foundational and Indian, and when you see everybody, they all have this brown skin on the same cake. What you feel in that area?
It's confusing to me. I feel it's another reclassification. At first I was like, well, I guess if that's the way that they want to see it. But then when I heard the confusion that was coming from different parts of the foundational Black Americans, some of them say that they're Indians, some of them say they hate Indians, some of them say, oh, well, we have more progress as being Black. So it was too much confusion for me. And then I said, you can't spell foundational without the Indian. Look
That's
at
right.
the word foundational. It has the letters for Indian in it. So that was just my take on it. But I got in trouble by some people. But oh well. I have to stand on being what my parents told me.
And that's where
Period.
you stay standing too. Don't let nobody take you from what your people told you. I said last week, you hear everybody talking about the ancestors. They ain't even their ancestors. They calling somebody else people their ancestors. Okay? Ancestors is your grandparents, and grandfathers, grandfathers. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But they up here, the ancestors. I had around here praying to my. They prayed for the ancestors over here to run me. My grandma and grandpas, stupid. They don't know you, and they gonna run somebody to be you. So, stay on what our people told us. And I said earlier, and I mean it, I see so many white people that who say they white, but when you see their paperwork, and then some of them around here, I just straight up know it because I know their family is. They got a lot of Indian blood in them. So it's not about the color of the skin anymore because people marries different complexion of people.
That's right.
Okay. My issue is nobody refer to the Indians that look like us. I'm not saying that there's no white people that have Indian blood. I'm saying I'm tired of them saying we need to go back to Africa because the color of our skin. And I know we foundational here. Are y'all with me? It's not us
Yes,
discriminating.
indeed.
That's
It's
right.
them been discriminating. And it's time we let it go. You got people marrying Asians in your family. So what you gonna do with the babies? You're not going to own the babies because your cousin married somebody else from another place. That's been going on historically.
Mm-hmm.
I believe if we try to make peace, we'll get along a little better. Y'all understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
What I
ma'am.
want to see us do with the petition is get to the elected officials who can make the change, who can help. You know, I'm gonna do a show, Phoenix, on the resolutions that I have. I'm not gonna say I'm doing it next week because I want to stay on this foundation a little bit. Okay, I want to move to some maps. Yeah, baby. A lot of people tell me they people look like they white. They not white. It was illegal for a white person to marry a black person. So if your grandma looked like
That's
she,
right.
well, probably she was an Indian. Okay.
The Alabama law still says, I forget the article, it still to this day says that there shall be no legislation that acknowledges whites and Negro marriages shall
The
live.
only person had a law to marry white was a white man could marry an Indian woman for what? So he could get her land. That was immigrants getting his citizenship. He was trying to get tied to the land so he could vote. Okay? That's how do you get your land. And when everybody talks about immigration, back to 14th Amendment, have they realized it was immigrants all the while fighting the people that was already here? America was founded upon immigrants. This place wasn't called America, but this land was still this land. And when they came here with America, Bonfaka was already here. Now you got to find what was your foundation name. Y'all with me?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, Chief.
Well, I'm gonna let Sunflower go. We ain't gonna hold them much longer. We got an hour and 46 minutes. And I want to tell everybody, and I welcome Sunflower to the stage because she was in there getting rid of them crazy people. All right. And I wanted to thank you and let everybody know them ranchers don't play over here. All
That's
right.
right, Chief.
Okay, let me let you go back and ranch it. All right, if y'all enjoyed the show tonight, let me see y'all sending up some hundreds and some fire. Or some hearts. If you love it, you can send up some hundreds and hearts would be better. You know, it likes to see, I notice when I get off, they like to see when y'all send up them hearts and hundreds because they show up in the studio. Okay? So send some of that up. Phoenix, I'm gonna let you come on and do your little roundup because we're not through. We're gonna move on to moving to maps next week.
Mhm.
Maps gonna take us to the foundation a little deeper, and let's go see how this foundation move across Southeast United States or below the 31st parallel. Are y'all with us for next week? If y'all is, send up that some fire and some love and some hundreds while Phoenix come on. And y'all know what? We fixing to build another channel, and Phoenix, it has 31 people over there waiting in line for Let's Talk St. Tammany.
I'm going to drop it in the chat one more again.
And it's what? Phoenix heard the song. I got to figure out how we're going to get over there. We've been working on a song, Cotton Wheel and all this. Cotton Wheel, if you're in the room, let me know. We just don't want to get our channel shut down for music until we get that right. But it wasn't AI written. It was AI music. So we're going to figure it out. But we got a song. We can play our song when y'all come, Phoenix. Yes, we can.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Bring it in a little closer. Can't see it. Thank you for the donation. Okay, Phoenix, you got to bring it in a little closer so they can see. And while she's zooming it in a little closer,
That's you, Chief.
that's me.
Yes, ma'am.
No, that ain't me. Oh, this here free minister. Let me let this man come on here and see what he want. Cause it don't look like he want to move. Now don't come on here with no foolishness, cause I'm gonna kick you out.
I just had one question.
All right, you on here?
Because I told you I support people doing their genealogy, people, look into their family history, because there were people before immigrants came over.
Yes, it was.
Right. So But my only question is, right, why don't we talk about the Afro people that were owned by the 5 civilized tribes? Why is that quiet? I'm not saying that the person who did it is bad. I'm just saying why.
I talks about it. You know, you must just start following Chief. Chief always talked about that. I'm going to talk about it.
Right, and the reason you see this on my screen because that's a old baseball player named Zach Foreman. His family was owned by Indian people, and his family was freed in 1866 by the Indian tribe in Oklahoma.
You know what's interesting? The Formans were Indians. You say slaves, the Formans were Indians.
Well, we don't have to just do the Foreman. You could do like I said, Don Cheadle, right? Don Cheadle, it's right here. Don Cheadle discovered through PBS series with Henry Louis Gates, the Irishman, right? His ancestors were enslaved, not by white plantation owners, but by the Chickasaw Nation in the Indian Territory.
Chickasaws were selling Indians, you know.
Since the 1700s, probably earlier than that, but at least the 1740s, the Chickasaws were absolutely selling Indians.
And I don't deny that.
Wait, so you're saying Don Cheadle is an Indian
From
too?
Canada to the southeast.
Right, but what I'm trying to ask is, so you're saying Don Cheadle was considered an Indian too, being sold by another Indian?
Yes.
Okay. And the Zach Foreman, you're saying he wasn't, he was an Indian too?
The Formans that I know. And
right, but Foreman's also owned other.
Yes. Enslaved or not. Yes.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
We're not denying that over here. We know that happened. I said earlier, it happened. Doesn't make it right. But a lot of those people were mixed breeds.
And when you're saying mixed breeds, are you referring to their like skin color as like yellow or?
I'm talking about blood.
Blood. Okay.
I'm talking about immigrants marrying indigenous people and then enslaving indigenous people.
Got it.
Over here, baby, we're gonna do the fact. We're gonna talk good, bad, and ugly. Okay.
It's just I just hear a lot of these modern Native indigenous people that say that all Black people were indigenous, but there were other, Blacks that were owned by, tribes, and they talk little about that, but I feel like we should talk about the entire history,
I do. That's why I did this channel. If you go back, I don't know how many of my videos you saw, but if you go back, I just have a very small library, about 80 videos in it. Go through it and you see I talked about those things. I addressed it that. The problem is not with me. The problem is we got to reach these politicians who make the laws, change the laws, okay? See, I didn't even know who you was, and I let you come right on up on stage. Because I don't have that night, and if you stayed in there that long, I wanted to see what you was talking about, okay?
Right. Because reason I bring it up is it's not talked about a lot. The modern, like, I don't know if you heard of Dane Calloway and people like that, and legendary top cats, the modern younger, people, they're talking about that any Black American walking around is an Indian. But
I don't believe that either.
Right. Because you got Black Indians, you got Europeans, and you got slaves that were owned by Europeans, and
that's what's going to make it so hard when they say in reparation. I think that's confusing the issue there and clouding the water too. Because the next question is how you know who is owed what. If you don't do your genealogy and prove that something was done to you, like the billions of dollars Trump put in case the United States had done you something that you can get paid. I think if he did it they say he did it for his people. I say once you put that money there, it's for whoever can prove it, no matter what color. See, we dealing with
that's right, because there was white people that was enslaved too.
We're dealing with too many colors.
Well, to be honest, I think the white people were the majority slaves of America.
I put it like this: I just saw more of them in paperwork than
Right, because
anything.
there's a census record called 18 Free Negro Slave Owners by Carter G. Woodson, and it has over 3,775 recorded Negro slave owners of the 1830 census. And those are Europeans, by the way, Black
Zoom it
Europeans.
in where they can see what you're showing.
Yeah, so you got the Free Negroes, it's by Carter G. Woodson. It was a document that was founded in the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, basically in state of Illinois, and it was created to show the 1830 census of free Negro owners of slaves. Now, these free Negro owners, they're saying free Negro because they're trying to hide that they're actually Black European, right? So
We had them in Louisiana. That's what I said earlier tonight. Louisiana
right.
and Mississippi was full of Black owners of slaves. We had Creole plantations, man, in Louisiana and Mississippi.
Right.
That let you know what that was. That was free people of color.
Right. Even when you type in John C. Calhoun, that was one of the vice presidents of the United States.
But we done spent all these years convincing younger people that the only people had slaves was white people. That creates tension.
Well, you said the only people. You said the only people that had slaves were white people.
I said
that's what's been taught to a lot of young people. Yeah.
So what that did is made anger and hatred. Because when you go to the records, you see different from that. You see what you see, and I see, and Phoenix. But if we don't speak it out too, now you're talking about who not speaking, we have to speak the truth to power too. Okay.
Right. And here's a big thing
that made
too.
the white man is if the devil didn't do it, the white man did it. Now, if the devil didn't do it, the white man did it, and the orange hand man did it. The orange head man. We had these problems before Donald Trump. We had these problems before Biden, before Obama, and just walk it back for the 250 years for the East Coast. You understand? And in all those areas, there were people that looked like us that did some dirt to us. But we want to just keep saying the white man. And while we're looking at the white man, the black man is gutting us out through the belly and the back. Okay?
Right. If I'm going to be honest, if I'm going to be honest, I don't believe no white person had power in this country before 1865 because they make a lot of songs after picking cotton in the cotton fields. If you didn't know that, like you can't name one black person, one black song from before and then that talks about us picking cotton all day. It's usually the whites making songs in Alabama, Mississippi, talking about how they used to pick cotton the entire day, wishing they can get out the field, right? Mm-hmm. And I have this thing on my screen showing the top black neighborhoods, right? When you go down, you see Bowie and Fort Washington, Maryland, located in Prince George County. These areas represent some of the highest black affluence, high school, college education rates, and executive level homeowners in the nation. So basically, you have an elite black neighborhood full of people with good jobs, right? Successful black excellence called Prince George's County. You have a Prince George's County. That doesn't sound like slaves. That sounds like royalty, right?
Well, when you look at the Creole plantation,
right,
you got to start thinking what was that? Who was the Creoles? Who was the Creole plantation owners? You find a whole lot of Creole plantations. Then you find Phoenix, the plantation like my friend Tom and them had, which was Angola. That was a place to create slaves. Okay, that was breeding plantations. Now that was a white person running a plantation, breeding to get Creoles. Okay, to sell, because fair skin had a better price. You where I'm at, so. You got these different plantations. And then I want to talk on plantations because back in the days, plantation was used as the word farm. So every time we see plantation also don't mean slaves. You where I'm at? So now we use the word farms. So I said earlier, we got to look at the time and the era and what was that word being used for. And I'm not taking up for white. I'm not taking up for black nor Creole. This is factual history. But somebody don't want to just say it. Okay? Right now, Elon Musk is an African American. Okay.
He sure lives.
President Obama, African American. They don't look alike. But both of them is underneath the banner of African American. So 25, 50 years from now, if there's not a picture of them, people would assume they look the same. Because the definition of them is African American. Don't look the same.
Right. So this
Well, that's the
little,
way it was in the past.
right.
Only thing both of them is both of them rich. One just richer than the other. The other African American way richer than the other. But otherwise, they don't look nothing alike. I don't even think they have the same kind of mixtures of African as they seeing in the same kind of American. Look, somebody put in there, okay, that's one of mine. That would figure. He puts in there, he's a young man. You see what you said?
Well, I think those Afrikaners in South Africa, I think they were owned by those black South Africans over there.
He
'Cause if
said
you see
white.
Yeah,
White.
They were free burgers.
That's
Just how
right.
we have free people of color, they were colored, and they are free burgers, and they actually descend from the original Afrikaans, also Dutch.
Well, the Dutch were referred to as Boers, right? And if you didn't know, in modern day today, they call the white people there the Boers. However, Boer was referred to a Roman, and the Roman, if you didn't know, were the French, the Italians, the Spanish, and
And also
Dutch.
known as the Dutch,
Right, and
Spanish, Netherlands.
exactly
Right?
right.
And the Boer Wars, if you look up the Boer Wars, what they do is they make them 1, 2, and 3, but they don't talk about the first ones in the 1600s that got those people set down there to
Right.
that part.
Right, and that's why I'm showing this picture. This is a man named Nicholas Waterboer. His ancestors owned slaves in South Africa, and his last name is Waterboer. So you have a darker skinned man with afro hair, with the last name Waterboer, right? Boer. We already know what Boer is. So and then you have another photo of this man wearing a suit and a high class top hat, showing that he is the man. Own everything, right? So I'm just trying to tell you, but it seems like you already know the Dutch in South Africa. I mean, the black people in South Africa, they are the Boer or so-called Dutch, and French too, because the Afrikaan word is a derivative of the word French Huguenot, German, and I believe Swiss. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Afrikaner surname word. Yeah, there it is. Boom. African's last name comes from Dutch, German, French Huguenots roots. And that's why when you type in what's his name? George Afrikaner? Let me see. It might be Junker. Yeah, Junker. That's what I got it wrong. He has he has ancestors that own slaves in South Africa too. I'm trying to find the photo where he was wearing the big Jew hat thing. But for some reason it won't show.
Yeah, let's make this quick because this isn't really about
Here it
foundational
is. There it
America.
is. He's wearing a top hat right there, show that he was the owner, right? But yeah, that's all I want to spread, that a lot of us, not just in America but around the world, owned people. Even Australia happened in Australia too. I can show that, but I'm not gonna show that. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
You're all right though. But they will pay white people for every instance of slavery. And here it is, you show the proof that that's not true.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing now. That's all I gotta say. Thanks for
Okay, over in the chat room, what y'all saying about it? Somebody say you need to be on your own platform because you're doing good. They like what you're doing. See what I'm saying?
right. Definitely.
Yes, it did.
Somebody the government, because let me tell y'all, I want to answer that one. While y'all doing that thing is, look, if this government collapse, you collapse.
That's
We,
right.
we don't need a collapse of government because this is our country.
That's right.
We here to not make it collapse. We here to save it, like we done been saving it for generations. Okay, over here we ain't trying to collapse the government, take over the government, none of that. We are saying, I know for me, I'm working government to government in my parish and state, and I think that's what y'all need to be thinking about. But if he go look at, yeah, you're right, USA.
We
You
as
go,
urban Indians, we are self-governing.
if
We
you
are
go,
a body of people.
if you go look at my platform, you see I talk about a lot of this stuff and then some. Over here, we are not trying to take over nothing, but we are trying to educate and network together to keep each other from getting out there, getting with people, getting in trouble, trying to make something happen. All right, baby. Now we're gonna get on back over to me and Phoenix closing out because we are past the 2 hour moment.
Right, definitely. Okay. I
All right.
appreciate you for
My
allowing
audience
me
is
on your
so
platform.
patient. They hangs in here with me, and I want them to come back whenever I need them again.
Okay.
All right. Thank everybody. We on different time zones. I appreciate our new member for the night. We're gonna close back out. We got our donation that came in. Our new member. Thank you to the new member. We're gonna enjoy this new channel that's coming up. Phoenix, it ought to be up this week and rolling as soon as we go through that little time zone you got to go through.
I
But
just dropped it in there again.
and we got 36 people already over there waiting on it to get started. Thank you for the donation that came in tonight. Once again, every little bit helps. It don't take a lot. It just take a whole lot of little bits. Y'all with me? And for everybody that came out tonight with us, I want to thank you all for coming as usual. Please like and subscribe. On your way out, can you please make sure if you have not stopped and gave us a tip, can you leave a tip by putting a like on there and hit subscribe. Okay, I'm going to say good night and let things say good night. Good night to all of y'all. I love y'all. See you again Tuesday night, same time, same place.
I just want to thank you for having me, Chief. Everybody, y'all be healthy. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.
Okay, good night. I'm going to leave y'all a chance to get to that, a few minutes to get over there and get over there to Let's Talk St. Tammany. I want each one of y'all to find something to get involved with your government where you live or where your historical family live, okay? To start getting yourself connected to where you come from. A lot of people left the South to go look for work, and it left their descendants stranded in other cities without their actual identities and foundation, but it can be found. Again, they say please sign the petition because there are so many people that have been reclassified that can show that they have been reclassified. This show is about cooking with Chief, serving up history. We had a slice of cake tonight, a piece, because we very seldom serve dessert. Okay, we always cooking it up. So I would like to tell each and every one of y'all, see you next week. The pot's gonna be good. Gonna be back in that kitchen, getting ready to serve you up. Good night, and God bless.